folks, good morning and welcome back. So you'll remember that a few days ago I showed you a screenshot of what the new Terra station is going to look like, and this is because the system in itself it's a joint operation in a sense that we, as L1 and then Luna VE2, we both use Terra Station, right? So we're going to be getting the same update and, moving towards this kind of and remember, there is no merge ever happening. Yes, there might be something called a merge protocol and things like that, but there's no merges happening, okay? The parity between Luna and Luna V2 is so important. It's important for the Alliance module to move forward, but more importantly, so all of us can use IBCs and we can continue to utilize the same technology that they're utilizing over at Luna V2. So from what I can hear in the pipeline, and this is the God's honest truth of what I've heard, TFL have no intentions of abandoning LUNC, and they're going to be there to support. Okay, and when they do this, they do it for free. They're not going to be, trying to control the chain or anything like that. They're just going to be simply there to provide us with what we need when we need it. So sometimes I find it hard to believe certain people with what they say and things like that. So this is the Grants Foundation webpage, and we're going to be going over the grant that's starting. Well, it would have started already by now because of when I've recorded this video. This is pretty much the summary of what needs to be done. Okay, the changes that need to be done and the process. What I don't see on here is how much they're going to need to do this. Okay, and the really good thing that has landed very fortunately for us is that because Binance did such a big burn, well, they did a big enough burn, that it landed well enough on our epoch that we ended up with a lot more coins in the community pool than we normally would. Also because of that 10% seigniorage, which is being sent to the community pool, right? Exactly. So we do have good funding at the moment, and hopefully it continues to go that way with all of the different kind of things. This DEX that's possibly being looked at and put forward at the moment is very promising. This in itself is even more promising. So the whole mood recently has changed in the region of Terra, Luna, and the word JWAMB, because if you've been watching this channel from the beginning, I've always said, when it come down to FM's kind of quotes and the things he was saying, to take it with a pinch of salt, because until someone done a correct audit and actually done it unbiased and it was done by a professional company, right? Not to go too far with what you believe to be true or false, because things can get misconstrued, and it's very easy to build up a big cult following from something negative that's happened. It's just one of those things, right? So from where we're sitting now, the audit says they did all the correct things and they didn't lie about what they said they did. So moving forward, the Alliance module is a game changer. It's a game changer because it provides new technology for people to tinker and mess around with and, adapt it into any way, shape and form that they possibly can think of. So this parity update and moving towards this is absolutely vital. And, I myself will always be staying with Terra Station regardless, because I know that, TFL are not going to stop supporting it because it's on the same system as them, and we're a huge community. And anybody who thinks that we are strong on our own and we don't need anybody and we don't need help from this blockchain or that blockchain, you're kidding yourself. The quicker we understand the positives, is probably the best way to put it, around being able to interact and have this interoperability with Luna in itself, could create a huge arbitrage opportunity like you've seen in that DEX to make burning profitable. If someone can make burning profitable, right, you've solved the biggest dilemma probably for communities in Lunar Classic right now. And that really is how we're going to burn coins, make it fun and make it profitable. If you could do that, you'd probably end up being a god or gain some kind of god status along the way. But the one thing that you'll see over at Luna is the way that they are collected, the way they present themselves and the way they move forward with things. Because they're a very well set in stone community, and all of them that are there are all people that suffered very greatly from the crash. I know some of the validators that have lost millions because of it, millions, and they're still there. They're still validating and they're still staying positive because they understand what they were involved in and things like that across the board. You know, there were many people hurt during the crash and I totally get that, but the only thing we can do right now is move forward. And with that security audit, it really does put a lot of things to bed. So the positives about this whole process is the interoperability, okay? Because then it will allow for a DEX to be created between Luna and LUNC, and that's great because I would love to be able to, you know, dollar cost average some Luna at times, because everybody knows this by now. If you're involved in Luna Classic and Luna Classic moves upwards, you know, Luna's likely going to move upwards with it. And it's the same with the USTC. They move in sync because they're in the same system. And yeah, it's very interesting to see, you know, some people are like, you know, I don't want nothing to do with it. But ultimately, if this starts running, this is running with it. And so is this. So this is what kind of why I don't ever swap USTC unless I absolutely have to. I like to keep it for fees as well. But for the simple fact is we just don't know what's going to happen with USTC. And I always like to have many cards in my deck, so to speak. I want to be able to play many hands and be covered at any point. So, and that's really important to always cover as many bases as you can, and also dissect and separate your investments also, and try and get involved with stuff, you know, possibly outside of the cosmos in itself, right? But this moving forward is really good. I'm looking forward to seeing how much they want for this, and then seeing the next part go up with obviously V23 and everything like that, because the quicker we know exactly how much it's all going to cost us, the quicker we can get the community to come to terms with how much it's going to cost, why it's going to cost that much, and, you know, how we're going to refill our community pool at times like this. So if we go to funding grants, no, we just go home. Or just go apply for a grant. Yeah, there we go. So you've got this 750 million Terra Classic Recovery Acknowledgement Opportunity, which it's 750 million, but you know, I must have read somewhere and it must have got changed from 1 billion down to 750 million, or I've skipped a bit and, you know, some of it's going somewhere else before it lands here. But ultimately, with the extra 750 million we've had going to the community pool, this doesn't seem like such as a bad idea now. If I had my own specific route to propose, I would propose to shut this down for the simple fact of that, you know, I'd rather see the money go to funding the blockchain and paying for these updates. But at the same time, developers, validators, projects and community ambassadors have all struggled through this time. So I hope to see a lot of people prosper and profit from this and help move their projects forward and help build more things for the blockchain and provide more content, because it's all about word of mouth and having as many people speaking about all of this as we can. But this in itself, it should be, the apply now button should be highlighted for you folks by the time this video comes out. If it doesn't, I'm sure it will come out at some point during the day. This ends on the 10th of December. There'll be a possible second round if all funds are not exhausted, and that second round will go from the 17th to Christmas Day. Christmas Day, would you believe it, right? So you never know. You might see a lot of good things come from this 750 million. You might see it excel the chain forward and help provide more things. So folks, stay safe, okay? I'm not a financial advisor. Beware of scammers, doppelgangers, anybody pretending to be me. And check out the Lunar Classic Let It Burn channel, folks. It is back up and running. All you need to do is support the channel. Just literally don't listen to the videos or anything. Just click play and job's a good one. Folks, stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next one.